The silent hunter of the swamp mist still clung to the water's surface, turning the swamp into a pale, trembling mirror that reflected a bruised gray sky. The air smelled of damp earth and decaying leaves. Every sound seemed muffled, every creature holding its breath. Nothing moved, except for a single ripple that broke the stillness when a small fish breached the surface. In that quiet, in that half-light where night and day blur together, a predator waited. Just beneath the surface, only two black beads, eyes and nostrils, peeked above the waterline. They didn't blink. They didn't stir. The rest of its body lay perfectly still beneath the film of algae and reeds. Its moss-covered scales made it look like part of the swamp itself, a slab of living stone forgotten by time. The crocodile knew patience. Time didn't matter to it. It didn't measure life in minutes or hours, but in hunger and opportunity. Its lungs expanded in slow rhythm, saving every bit of energy. The swamp was its kingdom, and silence, its greatest weapon. A flock of herons stirred nearby, flapping their wings as they scouted for shrimp and small fish. A snake slithered from one bush to another, disturbed by the morning chill. And then, from the far edge of the swamp, came the dull splash of heavy hooves. A water buffalo, old, slow, caked with mud, wandered down the slope, drawn to the patches of soft green grass growing at the edge of the water. It didn't see the two motionless eyes watching it from the shallows. It didn't sense the danger beneath the calm. The crocodile's nerves, buried deep under that armored hide, picked up the vibrations traveling through the water. Each step of the buffalo sent tremors that reached its body like whispers in the dark. Its brain, ancient and efficient, translated those tremors into distance, weight, direction. The predator didn't need to see, it could feel its prey. When the buffalo bent down, muzzle touching the water, a small ring of ripples spread across the surface. That was enough. A faint exhale, a twitch of the tail, and suddenly the swamp exploded into motion. The crocodile launched forward in a surge of raw power, water erupting around it like a detonation. No roar, no warning, just violence wrapped in silence. Its jaws, lined with jagged ivory teeth, opened wide. The buffalo had only a heartbeat to react, a startled bellow that cut through the fog before the swamp swallowed it whole. The force of impact was brutal. The crocodile's teeth locked onto flesh, anchoring deep into muscle. Mud churned beneath them as the massive predator pulled down with unstoppable weight. The water turned wild, foaming and thrashing. The buffalo kicked desperately, its hooves sinking deeper into the sludge. Its bellows grew weaker as it fought to stay upright. But every movement only dragged it closer to death. Beneath the surface, the crocodile twisted its entire body. Its signature move, the death roll. It spun violently, using its own mass as a weapon. The sound underwater was a muted roar, the turbulence so fierce it sent bubbles racing upward. The twist tore flesh and sinew. Blood unfurled like red smoke in the green murk, painting the swamp in a ghastly hue. The death roll was not an act of rage. It was precision. It was evolution perfected. For millions of years, this maneuver had ended countless struggles in the same way. Swift, efficient, merciless. Above the water, birds took flight, startled by the chaos. A few opportunistic ones circled back, waiting for scraps. The swamp echoed with the faint tremor of survival, a song as old as Earth itself. And then, silence returned. The buffalo stopped moving. Its body floated for a brief moment before being pulled under by the massive hunter. Ripples spread outward, slower now, until the surface stilled again. The swamp looked peaceful, almost innocent, as if nothing had happened. Beneath that calm, the crocodile clamped its jaws tighter, dragging the carcass into a dense patch of reeds. This was its hidden dining room, a quiet graveyard beneath the shade of overgrown branches. It would feed slowly, methodically. A meal like this could last for days. The crocodile tore chunks of meat with those terrible jaws, muscles flexing in rhythm. Each motion was deliberate. The flesh yielded. The sound was soft but sickening, wet and primal. The predator's thick tongue pushed the meat down its throat as the swamp around it hummed with life again. Dragonflies hovered above the blood-stained water. A few fish darted closer, stealing bits that drifted away. The balance of life and death in the swamp was restored within minutes. Far on the bank, an old fisherman had seen it all. He'd lived beside this swamp for decades, long enough to know every curve, every ripple, every secret. He'd lost a pig to these waters once, years ago. He used to curse the crocodiles then, but not anymore. Now, as he leaned on his wooden staff and watched the ripples fade, there was no hatred, only understanding. "They only do what they must," he murmured. The old man turned away, his silhouette fading into the mist. The swamp would always be theirs, the crocodiles and the ghosts of those they claimed. By noon, the sun was high and the air shimmered with heat. The smell of blood began to fade, replaced by the thick scent of moss and decay. The crocodile lay half submerged, eyes half closed, body still, its stomach heavy with victory. It would not hunt again for days. Around it, life continued as if nothing had happened. Frogs croaked, birds called. The reeds swayed softly in the breeze. The water glimmered gold under the sunlight, betraying no trace of the violence that had unfolded just hours before. That's the paradox of the swamp. Behind its stillness lies chaos, and behind every calm reflection hides a story of hunger. To the crocodile, this was not cruelty. It was necessity. To kill was to live. To wait was to survive. Every creature in the swamp knew that rule, from the smallest insect to the mightiest predator. And yet, there was beauty in it, a strange, haunting beauty. When dusk arrived again, the swamp shimmered in crimson and gold. The same crocodile floated just beneath the surface, motionless once more, its eyes glinting like shards of obsidian. Somewhere in the distance, another animal came to drink. The cycle was about to begin again. In this world, peace and violence are not opposites. They are partners in an endless dance. The crocodile does not judge. It does not feel mercy. It simply exists, a living relic of ancient perfection. Every attack, every kill, every silent moment of waiting, all part of the eternal rhythm of survival. When night finally fell, the swamp was silent again. The mist returned. The stars trembled above, and under the black mirror of the water, the hunter rested, patient as time itself, because in the swamp, nothing truly ends. Every death feeds new life. Every silence hides a storm, and somewhere, just below the still surface, the crocodile waits.